Welcome back, everyone, for part 2 of our deep dive on navigating your 20s.
It's great to be back.
Last time we were talking all about embracing uncertainty, which, let's be honest, is a pretty huge part of this whole decade.
Right. Feels like every day brings something new to figure out.
Exactly. And today we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit to another super important aspect of this whole 20s thing.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
It's all about self-discovery and how to actually, prioritize it. Because there's a lot of other stuff vying for our attention,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. You're in your 20s. There's pressure to build a career, figure out relationships, maybe start thinking about family and all that, on top of just becoming a functional adult.
Yeah, when did paying bills become a hobby?
Right. It can definitely feel overwhelming, but here's the thing. Your 20s are also this unique window of time where you've got more freedom and flexibility to figure out who you are.
Okay, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it like that before.
Think about it. You're probably done with school, maybe not tied down with a mortgage or a family yet.
True. So much is still up in the air.
Exactly. So there's this incredible opportunity to really explore before life gets, more settled.
All right, I'm sold. So let's dive in. What exactly did our sources have to say about this whole self-discovery thing?
Well, one of the first things that jumps out is the importance of breaking free from all those ingrained influences.
Ingrained influences. Okay, I think I know what you mean.
Think about it. Growing up, you absorb so much from your family, right?
Yeah.
Your culture, your community.
Totally. It shapes how you see the world.
Right. So maybe success meant a corporate job, a big house, a white picket fence, that whole picture.
Or maybe it was about following a specific career path, or even who you were supposed to date.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily bad stuff, right? These influences can be really positive, but the key here is to start questioning them.
Questioning them, why?
Because what if those definitions of success, those values you inherited, don't actually align with what you truly want?
I see what you mean. It's are you living your life or someone else's version of it?
Right. So it's not about rejecting everything you were taught, but taking a step back and saying, okay, what feels genuinely authentic to me?
So, what parts of that upbringing, those values, really resonate, and which ones do you find yourself maybe pushing back against a little?
And it's interesting. Studies have actually shown that people who really engage in this kind of self-reflection in their 20s, they actually end up more satisfied with their lives later on.
Wow, really? So figuring yourself out now pays off big time down the road.
Exactly. Because it helps you build a life that's truly aligned with who you are, not who you thought you were supposed to be.
I remember when I graduated college, I felt this crazy pressure to have it all figured out. My career, relationships, everything.
I think we've all been there.
But looking back, I was just chasing this external idea of success that wasn't even really mine. It took time to sort through all that noise and figure out what mattered to Emmy.
Totally. It's so easy to get caught up in those external expectations, right? And that's why the next point from our sources is so crucial. Active exploration.
Active exploration. So not just sitting around waiting for self-discovery to magically happen.
Exactly. It's about going out and seeking it out, trying new things, being curious.
Okay, give me some examples. What kind of exploration are we talking about?
Think. Hobbies, interests, even different ways of living, anything that piques your interest, really.
So it doesn't have to be quitting your job and backpacking across Europe kind of exploration.
Not necessarily, although if that calls to you, go for it. But the source also talks about finding those smaller moments of exploration in everyday life.
Okay, so what? Trying a new restaurant every week.
Exactly. Or checking out a local band you've never heard of, taking a different route to work just to see what you discover.
I like that. It's like finding little adventures in your routine.
Because you never know what seemingly random experience might lead to a big self-discovery, right?
It's true. Sometimes the most unexpected things end up having a huge impact.
Even something as simple as reading a book from a genre you'd never normally pick up.
Yeah, it could open up whole new worlds of thought.
Exactly. It's about exposing yourself to new ideas, new perspectives, and seeing what clicks.
I took a pottery class a few years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I just wanted a fun, creative outlet, But honestly, it totally shifted my perspective on, a lot of things.
Like what?
I thought it would just be relaxing, but I ended up learning so much about patience, about embracing imperfection, and it really changed how I approach my work, too,
That's awesome. It's amazing how these seemingly random experiences can lead to those aha moments.
Totally. But okay, so it's not just about racking up experiences, right?
Yeah.
And there's got to be more to it than that.
That's the key. It's about connecting those experiences to a deeper understanding of yourself.
So it's like, don't just DO the thing, but actually reflect on what it means.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Ask yourself, what did I learn about myself from that experience? Did it energize me? Did it drain me? How does it connect to what I value?
So if I'm trying that new rock climbing gym, it's not just about conquering the wall. It's about what that experience tells me about myself.
Exactly. Maybe you discover you're way more adventurous than you thought, or maybe you realize how much you value teamwork and support.
So every experience is like another piece of the puzzle, helping you figure out who you are.
I like that analogy. It's like you're constantly sculpting your own life, chipping away at what doesn't fit and shaping what does.
Okay, that's a really cool way to think about it.
And the more you embrace that process in your 20s, the more prepared you'll be to create a life that truly reflects you.
All right, so to wrap things up, self-discovery in your 20s is all about breaking free from those preconceived notions, exploring like crazy, and reflecting on what all those experiences teach you.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that your 20s are this amazing time to explore, experiment, and really get to know yourself.
It's about the journey, not the destination. Right.
Absolutely. And as we close out this deep dive, I'd love for everyone listening to think about this. What's one small step you can take today to start or continue your own self-discovery journey?
It could be signing up for that pottery class, trying a new recipe, or even just journaling about your goals and interests.
Whatever it is, embrace it.
And remember, your 20s are about figuring things out, so don't be afraid to explore and see where it takes you.
That's what this decade is all about.